Good day. I'm Tim Berry, and I'm the proud president of Alderson Broaddus University. And when I first arrived, I tried to think of creative ways to communicate with our alumni, our benefactors, and friends. And I came up and stole an idea, frankly, from Franklin Delano Roosevelt about Fireside Chats. And if you've been a regular visitor to our website over the years, you'll see from time to time, you've witnessed Fireside Chats on activities and events and programs at Alderson Broaddus. And I believe we probably have delivered close to 50 Fireside Chats over the years. And today we're blessed to have Glen with us, who's a proud alumnus of Alderson Broaddus University, to discuss a very historic and important program in our academic curriculum, that being our physician assistant program. And Glen is starting out with a burgeoning development of an advisory group of people that are going to assist our physician assistant program with advice and counsel and support. And so, Glen, I'm delighted that you and your wife have joined us. And why don't we just take a moment or two for our visitors, for you to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your relationship that you've had with Alderson Broaddus over the years.
Thank you, Dr. Berry. It is an absolute pleasure to reach out to many of my alumni colleagues. Wanted to very much let you know that the Alumni Association is up and running. It's been in a bit of a dormant state for a while, but we're going to make changes here and hopefully be able to address some of the issues that you have as graduates. One of the most profound experiences that I've ever had was to have the honor to know Dr. Hugh C. Myers. Dr. Myers was a visionary, and he was a West Virginia genteel Sutherland and a surgeon of outstanding qualifications. He is the one that we can say why we're here today. He was able to establish this program in 1968, with the very first class graduating in 1972. And I must say that I owe him pretty much all of the pleasures that I've had as a career PA. Dr. Myers was not only soft-spoken, but when you did hear him, he meant to get the point across to you. He was not a taskmaster. And one of the things that was so striking is that I was never Glen in his eyes. I was Mr. Combs. And talking with him even today, I get rather emotional about how much that I enjoyed having him. And you know, the thing that I want to get across today and pretty much reassure Dr. Berry here is that AB has the longest history of PAdom, if you want to call it that. And we want very much to include you more in regards to types of activities that will give you comfort in being an AB graduate and to hopefully propel you even further into type of leadership positions. We're fortunate to have a number of leaders from our graduation classes. I myself is a past president of the American Academy of Physician Assistants, and I do believe that AB has more than just clinical science involved, but they're also an organization or a college that promotes leadership, and I'm fortunate to have been able to go through that experience. Dr. Berry?
Well, I guess your comments open up a couple of questions to me, and one of them is, what were the learnings, the primary learnings of your experience here at AB? You're still practicing. Mm-hmm. I'm sure from time to time, maybe daily, you draw upon those lessons. So I'd be very interested in hearing your thoughts in that regard.
Sure. I think one of the things that Dr. Hugh really made a very important point is that you have to be a listener if you're going to be an effective practitioner. And I learned a lot from that. It was interesting when we would make rounds with him. He would ask one of us to go into the patient's room speak with the patient briefly, and then come out and present. And then we all would go in, and Dr. Hugh would then begin the rest of the encounter. But I can tell you, he only used 4 or 5 sentences in that entire encounter. He was able to pick up and listen to a patient who, well, ultimately, as he mentioned, will always give you the answer as far as the diagnosis. I think the other thing that's important that I found was being able to learn here at AB on this campus, coming from California and being exposed to a number of other larger universities. The quietness, the camaraderie, the fun that one can do among their classmates, it's all here, which I would have missed if I had gone to a larger institution, there's no doubt.
You know, Glenn, it seems to me that medicine, just like so many different things, has become mechanized and sterile, for a better term. Can you speak to the human nature of some of those lessons and how you apply the caring aspect to a mechanized world that we're dealing with?
Yeah. Philippi was a town, and I'm sure it is today, a place where people want to be heard. They're obviously interested in getting well, but they also want to make sure that the people that are actually caring for them hear what they say, and that's sometimes not a well-taught skill. But I think the physicians that we came in contact as faculty members and the whole experience was able to provide that important part of medicine. And you're absolutely right. We have become more of a corporation. Some people refer to it as a factory. and I think my roots are here in AB. And one of those important aspects is that not to take your position for granted.
I think one of the challenges we have today in any of our academic disciplines is to remember those lessons of the past as we encounter a very busy world, a changing world, a highly technological world, and how we take those lessons and apply them today as we look toward tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Any thoughts on that?
Well, you know, one of the unique parts of, I think, the AB experience, if you will, is because of its liberal arts background and because there are liberal arts still part of the curriculum, you gain a much better perspective in regards to how the world operates. And that obviously is a helpful thing when you become a clinical practitioner.
As you look toward the future, in many ways a very bright future, but as we'd say in nautical terms, with a lot of choppy water, where do you see the profession going?
I see the profession itself continue to make progress. The newer PAs that are coming up are highly intelligent. They have a feel for humanity, and the profession itself, I think, will continue to produce those types of individuals.
But we have to be very cautionary. We have to be very observant because the times, they say, are changing and changing quickly, oftentimes in a very short period of time.
That's right.
And also dealing with a lot of regulatory situations, governmental control, etc., whether or not it be in the medical treatment side or the funding side on the other end. And dealing with also a very hopefully educated population that's aging dramatically. So again, the lessons of the past we can't forget as we move forward.
And I guess that's another reason why it's so important that you contribute to our Alumni Association in a number of ways, but to be able to maintain that relationship with an institution that really has made their name for themselves for that very reason.
Well, thank you for coming home.
Absolutely.
And as I mentioned at the end of all of our Fireside chats, we'd like to hear from you. So please contact me directly or get on our website and respond with email, because we want to know what you're thinking about not only our PA program, but all of the programs, events, and activities of a very contemporary institution that happens to be 151 years of age. So, as I always conclude, may God bless you, and may God bless Alderson Broaddus University. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Perry.
Thank you.